Ladies and gentlemen, because we have run a little bit behind time, I now have the very complete and absolute privilege of introducing to you she who I suspect will be the next Prime Minister of Barbados. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Amor Mottley.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Diplomatic Corps, current and former members of Parliament, members of the Barbados Labour Party, members of the family of Barbados. This is an important evening for us. And I want to thank each and every person who mounted this stage to help share with you who we are, what we stand for, and what we will fight for. For in simple terms, that is what this covenant of hope represents. Barbadians are finding harder and harder every day to survive in this country. And in real sense, there is no longer any joy in silence. We have come to a point where too many doubt ourselves. And we believe that we must remind our people that there is always hope. And there is always hope if we work with each other. And there is always hope if we listen to each other. And we have reached this point not by accident or not overnight. This has been a long process. But everything in life that is worth having comes with some length of time and some effort. And I want tonight to explain to you very simply why a covenant. And when you get the book, you will understand the motivation that we can only get out of this place if we work together. And that it requires us going beyond the normal commitments or pledges to each other, but indeed recognizing that there will be persons in this society of different power, of different capacity, but who together, acknowledging the integrity and the sovereignty of the other, can achieve together what none can achieve alone. That is the premise upon which we will act as a party. And it is not a premise to be kept to ourselves, but one that must now be the subject of seeking the commitment to have more and more of you from tonight and then parish by parish and sector by sector, such that we have the collective body across this nation prepared to enter into this covenant to work with each other to build a better Barbados. You may ask, why now? Because the country is restless and some are beginning to believe that hope is not possible. And therefore the timing is opportune. And from here on in, our efforts will not be centralized as a party, but will, as I said, be into the communities and into the villages and into the parishes and with the sectors. I have asked today that my office send a copy of this covenant to have it translated into Braille, because it must be inclusive for all Barbadians. I want to thank in particular those brave persons who chose to speak. And you may ask why I use the word brave. Because anyone who stands up in Barbados today to make a statement is brave. And there are so many who want to say, but who are frightened to speak. And therefore, all of who you saw supplement the voices of the candidates and members of Parliament of the Barbados Labour Party. We thank you on behalf of a grateful nation for your courage, because you gave voice to what many say on a daily basis. We want also to challenge the media, and I say so with all sincerity. Our country needs a strong and independent media. I'm not asking you to give any quarter to this party or to any party, but I am asking you to give Barbadians the facts, and more regularly. And I ask you also to recognize that tonight we come here to start a journey that to Louis and to Billy, to Lindsay and to Vic, to Delisle, may seem familiar. And certainly when I joined the Barbados Labour Party in 1989, I never contemplated that I would stand on a platform to have to ask a party and a country to recommit to values and to principles that we thought were long settled as a nation. So when you ask me why a covenant, it has become necessary for us to let you know what we stand for, and to give you the confidence of how we shall act in your name as a government. Because never again should the people of a country be subject to the arbitrary and reckless actions that bear no semblance of philosophy, principles, or commitment to values in the name of yourselves. We never believed that we should have to call upon why education is important to this country, or why healthcare is important. And the irony is that they stand for us as accomplishments for which we are the most competitive in all of our endeavors globally. But we want now to remove them both as a social protection as well as an economic comparative advantage. We never thought that we would have to remind people why we needed to bolster their identity, because the early work, particularly of the Tom Adams Cabinet in the establishment of the National Cultural Foundation, and in the recognition with the establishment of the Bussa statue, and the early emancipation lectures, we never thought we would have to fight those battles again. We never thought that healthcare would become a difficult issue for us to negotiate, because Barbadians believed that they had access to the best healthcare in this region. So tonight, we recommit to many of these values, but we go further. We go further to respect for diversity. We go further in recognizing that we can't live in this world alone, as Kerry just told you, but we must engage a world confident as a Barbadian people. We must set ourselves simple targets that by 2030, all of our children under the age of 30 must be exposed to the opportunity to be bilingual, must be able to swim, as simple as it sounds, such that they are not fearful of living on a land that is surrounded by water. We must set ourselves the commitment that no longer should people wonder where people come from to determine whether they should have a job or who they know. This country must chart a bold new course that gives every Barbadian the opportunity to be successful. And therefore I ask you tonight to work with us, to work with a team that is reflective of those who have had experience, as you've heard from this platform tonight, and those who are yet now to cut their teeth, but who are brimming with energy and passion. We want to make you confident as a people again. We want to make us compassionate and caring. But above all else, we want to be the best that we can be. And we know that we can only do it. We can only do it by working together. And this does not mean a politics of old. It means instead of a politics of personality, we must have a politics of hope and prosperity. We must build trust, and we must not feel as though we are hampered and held down by things of old, but be prepared to break new ground. And I say to you tonight, we are of that Joshua generation, ready to take you forward. For this covenant of hope, with your will and your participation, can become a government of hope. With courage and resolve, true transformation is therefore possible. And I ask you, therefore, to join with us on this journey, to covenant with us, to recognize that with the grace of God and with fortitude and determination, we can do it together. Because if nothing else, to have hope, we have each other. We will rise as one people, proud, confident, compassionate, caring. And we will, like the Barbados Labour Party of 1938, and the Barbados Labour Party of the 1970s, and the Barbados Labour Party of the 1990s, we will help in ushering that new era of hope. Good night, and God bless you.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round. Can't find the right word, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, and I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise.